So we want to solve this quadratic equation. So we know it's a quadratic equation, and all quadratic equations have the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So in this question, a is 6 and c is minus 4. So we're going to start off by saying, what is a times c? So remember, we said a is 6 and c is minus 4. So we're going to start off by saying a times c, or 6 times minus 4, which is equal to minus 24. Now because we did a times c, this method is sometimes called the AC method. So let's tidy up a little bit. So AC is minus 24. Now whenever the first step really is to work with this bit here. This is what we're really going to work with at the beginning. We need to now find two numbers that will multiply to give minus 24 but add to give minus 5. So two numbers that will multiply to give minus 24 but add to give 5. So in order to do that, we'll do a bit of side working here. So we're going to do the factor pairs of 24. We'll worry about the negative sign afterwards. So we know that 1 times 24 is 24. But does that help us? No, it doesn't, because 1 add 24 will not give us 5. Or 1 take away 24 will not give us 5. So it can't be that one. Then after 1, I'm going to try 2. Does 2 go to 24? It does. How many times? 2 times 12 is 24. Does that help us? No, because the 2 add 12 is not 24, or 12 take away 2. So 2 add 12 is not 5, or 12 take away 2 is not 5. I'm just looking at positive numbers for time being. We'll worry about the negative sign in a bit. Then after 2 is 3. Does 3 go to 24? Yes, it does. How many times? 8 times. 3 times 8 is 24. And does that help us? Well, look, it does, because you can see that 8 take away 3 is 5. So we're now getting close to our number of factors that we're looking for. So we're going to use that pair, 3 times 8. But we want it to be minus 24. So to be minus 24, it could either be 3 times minus 8 is minus 24, or it could be minus 3 times 8 is equal to minus 24. But remember, one of these pairs has to add to give minus 5. So if you look here, minus 3 add 8 is positive 5 and not negative 5. So it can't be this one. So it must be this one. But let's check it still. What's 3 add minus 8? It is minus 5. So that is the number pair that we want. 3 times minus 8. Now as you get better, you'll be able to identify which one takes negative sign. Is it a 3 or the 8? Because it's a little thing I tell my students. If the sign here is negative, then the bigger number. So we had to choose, does the 3 take the negative or the 8 take the negative? So whatever sign is here, like here's minus here, the bigger sign will take the minus. The bigger number will take the minus. So minus 8 takes the minus. So that's our number pair now, 3 and minus 8. So now, this bit here, we'll just copy it down exactly as we see it, 6x squared. The minus 4, we'll just copy it down exactly as we see it. But this minus 5x now will be broken down to 3x minus 8x. So can you see 3x minus 8x is equal to minus 5x. So instead of minus 5x, we're going to now write 3x minus 8x. So it's plus 3x, because remember this was positive, and then the minus 8x. So can you see all we've done is we've broken this minus 5x down to 3x plus 3x minus 8x. That's all we've done so far. And remember, we use this, all of this, to work out 3x minus 8x. So from now on, we don't need this bit anymore here. We're only going to use this. And I forgot to write, it has to be equal to 0. So we don't really need to write this down anymore. But to continue now, we look at it as two parts. So normally what I do is I'll just draw a line here. So we're going to factorize this bit here. So if we look at the numbers 6 and 3, the highest common factor is 3. And if we look at the x's, there's the x squared here and there's the x here, so the x will go outside the bracket. So 3x will go outside the bracket. So 3x times what will make 6x squared is going to be 2x here. And 3x times what makes 3x? Well, that's just 1, so plus 1. So when we factorized this bit, we got 3x, open bracket, 2x plus 1, close bracket. So I've just tidied that up. And now we're going to look at this bit here. We're going to factorize this bit here. So I can see here in terms of numbers, I've got minus 8 and I've got minus 4. Now here you got to be very careful. I can either say 4 is a factor of minus 8 and minus 4, or I can say minus 4. Now I'll deliberately do the wrong one first. So say for example I said I'm going to take 4 out. So I'll put 4 outside the bracket. Now 4 times what makes minus 8x? It's going to be minus 2x. And then 4 times what is minus 4 is minus 1. So let's just check. Is 4 times minus 2x minus 8x? It is. Yes, it is. And 4 times minus 1 is minus 4, which is perfectly fine. But the problem is we want what's inside this bracket here to be exactly the same as here. And in this case, it's not, because of the minus and the minus. Otherwise, it would have been exactly the same. So that's why I cannot take 4 out. It would be wrong to take 4 out. It will not give me my solution. So instead of taking a positive 4 out, we're going to take the minus 4, negative 4 out. So negative 4 times what makes negative 8x is going to be 2x. So negative 4 times 2x is negative 8x. And then negative 4 times 1 plus 1 makes negative 4. Right, now you can see what we've got inside this bracket and what we've got inside this bracket are exactly the same. Now what we do is we take the 3x, write it here. And then the negative 4 will come here, we'll put it inside a bracket. And what's inside this bracket, we'll just copy it down. 2x plus 1. So now, we've just factorized 6x squared minus 5x minus 4. So this is the factorized form. But remember, this has to be equal to 0. So we need to find the solutions for x. So there will be 2 solutions for x. So we want this bracket, the first bracket, 3x minus 4 to equal to 0. We also want the second bracket, 2x plus 1 to equal to 0. So to find the solution of x here, we'll have to go to this minus 4 first. So we add 4 to both sides. So if we add 4 to both sides, on the left hand side, the minus 4 and the plus 4 cancels out, leaving me with 3x. And on the right hand side, 0 add 4 is just 4. Now to get the x on its own, we have to divide both sides by 3. So x is equal to 4 over 3. And it's better to leave it as a mixed number rather than improper fraction. So copy the line and 3. So how many times 3 going to 4? Once. And then 1 times 3 is 3. And 1 would be 4. So x can either be 1 and a third, or that's one solution, x is 1 and a third, or if we look at the right hand side now, so to get the x on its own, I have to go to this plus 1, so take away 1 from both sides. So on the left hand side, plus 1 and minus 1 cancels out, leaving me with just 2x, and 0 take away 1 is minus 1. And now I have to get the x on its own by dividing by 2 on both sides. So if we divide by 2 on both sides, x is equal to minus 1 over 2, or minus 0.5. So x is equal to minus 1 over 2, which is minus 0.5, or x 1/3. So these are 2 solutions. So in the exam, you'll write it as x is equal to 1 1/3, or x is equal to minus 1/2. So this is how you write it in the exam. X is equal to 1 1/3, or x is equal to minus 1/2. So your answer would look like this in the exam. X is equal to 1/3 or x is equal to -1/2. Now it's always a good idea to substitute this back into your equation to check if it does work.